Imagine you were Israeli.
Yeah.
What would you do with Palestinians?
I will engage with them and live in peace.
Okay. How do you engage? How should Israelis engage with Palestinians?
Make united together both governments and people, and make the people in the same country, one country for all.
So you want it to be one country? No, but until then, first you have to get to know each other. You have to understand each other. How would you even do that?
Maybe.
How should Israelis do that?
Maybe we should learn them in the schools, in the universities, make some courses, some groups to teach the people how to contact with the other people from the other nation, from other religion, like that.
تخيل حالك إسرائيلي، شو بتسوي بالفلسطينيين؟
هذا السؤال مش راح اتخيله اصلا.
مش راح تخيله؟
لا.
I'm not gonna even imagine this question.
ما راح اتخيله بالمرة لأن أنا عشت في فلسطين.
Because I lived in Palestine.
وأرض فلسطينية.
And my land is Palestinian.
أكلمة فيها يعني خلقت مسلم أكلمة فيها.
And the very least I was created a Muslim. I was born a Muslim.
Okay, you're a Muslim and you're Palestinian. What if pretend you were Israeli just for a moment?
طيب أنت مسلم فلسطيني بس يعني تخيل إنك إسرائيلي بس لحظة.
Put yourself in their shoes.
أو حط حالك مكانهم، حط نفسك مكانهم.
كمان بحكي لك مش راح اتخيل.
I can't. I'm not gonna even imagine it. بترفض ولا بتقدرش؟
برفض كعقيدة كمجتمع كدولة.
As a creed, as a community, as a society, as a country, a nation, I refuse to imagine being Israeli.
If you were Israeli, put yourself in the place of the Israelis as it currently is, what would you do with the Palestinians? How would you deal with it?
I mean, that would be a difficult question, honestly. Because if I was going to be in Israel, that means would I be living in the same privileges? Would I be living with the same knowledge that I have? Or would I have like my experiences as a Palestinian or that awareness about it?
With your knowledge as a Palestinian?
Well, with my knowledge as a Palestinian, I wouldn't. I mean,
you wouldn't what?
I wouldn't practice the same military policies or occupation.
What would you do differently?
What would I do differently? I would open dialogue. I mean, more or less, if I have all the power and I have all the strength, whether it's military or economically, I have nothing to lose and more or less and more to gain by cooperating with other people.
هو سؤال افتراضي. افترض إنه أنت إسرائيلي عايش في إسرائيل، أوكي؟ شو بتعمل بالفلسطينيين؟
أول شيء بحاول أفهمهم.
First, I would try to understand them.
بحاول أفهمهم إن هم شو بدهم.
What they want.
شو متطلباتهم.
What are their requests or demands.
وبعدين برجع للأشياء التاريخية عشان أعرف إنهم هم بيحكوا إشي صح ولا إشي غلط.
Then I would go back to history to see if they are saying the truth or not.
وبعدين أحسن حل إنه التفاهم يصير لأنه
And the best solution is to have understanding and dialogue, because there is no religion that accepts killing, and God refuses this.
Imagine you were an Israeli. What would you do with Palestinians?
What would I do with Palestinians?
تخيل حالك إسرائيلي جاي هون تحكي إنه فلسطين إلك أو الأرض هاي إلك، يعني هيك فكر.
I cannot give a question like this.
Why?
Because I need a lot of thinking about this. We can imagine if I am Israeli.
You have to deal with your people. What do you do?
If I am Israeli, I have the belief it's my land, not Palestinian land. What I will do, I will fight them because it's my land. This is what they are thinking. Because what we are thinking, that's our land and our religion. It's Palestine for us, and in their religion, Israel and their country here.
So if you were an Israeli, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
I will live my life.
You're the Israeli Prime Minister. What do you do?
I will deal with them as a human.
Okay.
This is what I will do. Not as Palestinian, as Egyptian. They are human.
Okay, so what would you do if you were Israeli? What would you do?
I think
with the Palestinians.
I think I would search to the truth.
So what is the truth? Explain that what you mean.
This land for the Jews or for the Palestinian?
Why can't it be for both?
Maybe I will search.
Okay.
I think all the world, or most of the people around the world, know this land is for the Palestinian. But the Jews maybe live here with the Palestinian, but this land for the Palestinian people. The Jews here less, all around the history.
There were always less Jews here throughout history and more Palestinians. That's what you're saying.
تخيل حالك انت اسرائيلي، شو بتعمل بالفلسطينيين؟
ايش بدي اعمل في الفلسطينيين؟
تخيل حالك اسرائيلي this one. Imagine you were an Israeli.
ايش بدي اعمل بالفلسطينيين يعني
تخيل حالك
هلا اذا انا اسرائيلي وبعرف اني انا محتل الفلسطينيين، ايش بدي اعمل معهم؟ هلا اما اذا انا اسرائيلي وبعرف ان هاي ارضي بيختلف.
It's totally different. If I were an Israeli and knew I was occupying the land, it's one thing, and if I was an Israeli who believed that this land is mine, it's something else.
Let's say you're an Israeli who believed that this land was yours.
فديما نحكي انه انت اسرائيلي بتآمن ان هاي ارضك.
هاي ارضي، بآمن ان هاي ارضي.
فشو بتعمل؟
طبعا بدي اعمل اللي احنا بنعمل، يعني بدي اعمل المستحيل مشان ارجع ارضي.
كاسرائيلي بتعمل
طبعا
I will
بس
do the impossible to get back my land. So I was like, and as an Israeli, he said, of course.
بس هو العكس صحيح، يعني هو احنا يعني اصحابين الارض
فلسطينيين.
واحنا اللي اصحابين الحق، وعلى قولة اب مازن اعترفنا في دولتهم مشان نعيش احنا وياهم بسلام، ومش ظابط
But the opposite is true. We are the ones who own the land. We are the rightful owners. But just as Abu Mazen, the president, said, we acknowledged that they have, you know, that they are Israel, but they did not acknowledge that we are Palestine. تخيل حالك إسرائيلي شو بتعمل بالفلسطينيين؟
بدعم في الفلسطينيين
لو انك اسرائيلي
بعطيهم كل حقوقهم، بما اني انا مواطن بدي اعترف في.
As an Israeli, I would give the Palestinians all their rights. I would.
اذا انا بدي مواطنتي، يعني بعطي الناس مواطنتها.
If I wanted my citizenship, if I wanted to live in my country, I would also give them their right to citizenship and their rights.
Okay, what are those rights?
شو هاي الحقوق طيب؟
بما انه هو اسرائيلي بس اصله مش مولود هون في فلسطين، يعني هو اصله بكون كندي او فرنسي او بريطاني او روسي، اصله مش مولود في فلسطين. فيعني هو لازم يعطينا حقوقنا احنا الفلسطينيين اهل.
Since Israelis come from abroad, either from Canada, France, or elsewhere, and then he said no, not Canada, like somewhere in the European countries, they came to us Palestinians. They should give us our rights since we are the rightful owners of the lands.
But what are your rights?
طب اوكي شو هي حقوقنا كفلسطينية؟
انا حقي اني اعيش على ارضي بسلام.
It is my right to live on my land.
اتنقل بين المدن بأريحية دون خوف.
To have the freedom of movement without any fear.
No checkpoints.
بدون محاسين يعني.
بدون محاسين.
No checkpoints.
And the right of return to Israel.
وبرضه كمان حق الرجوع إلى
48.
إلى أراضي 48.
في حق، في ناس طلعت
There is a right because there are some people who were forced to leave and.
Hey guys, if you want me to come to more places like this to ask Israelis and Palestinians what they think about the conflict, please help me by subscribing.
Welcome. Termis, welcome.
By donating.
By donating down in the description. Thanks a lot.